0 for Mrs. Def or 1 for the champion Maggie. Followed by North Space Miners from 1 to 1,000 Jokers. This is a title match, so all bets are doubled. I'm personally going Mrs. Def.
The following champion versus champion contest is an Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere match and is for the Total All-Star Female Championship.
Making her way down to the ring, she is the Women's Intercontinental Champion. She is Mrs. Def.
We have one-on-one action on the way, and this one should be nothing short of amazing.
I don't doubt that for a moment, Michael. In fact, I would go so far as to say this match might just steal the show.
Mrs. Def looking to become Mrs. Def 2 belts, as she is the Women's Intercontinental Champion, and she could, after this match, be the Queen of Spring. Will Mrs. Def be the one to take that title from around the waist of Maggie? Maggie has held that title since the beginning of spring, and she retired the Queen of Winter. Making her way down to the ring, she is the Queen of Spring. She is Queen Maggie.
There is an absolutely big fight feel in the arena tonight for this one.
Yeah, and judging from the vibe here currently, it seems to me like this is the one this sold-out crowd came to see.
They're competing for that title as well as the title of Queen of Spring.
Introducing the challenger from Transylvania, Mrs. Def.
Mrs. Def looks focused.
Introducing the champion.
Maggie as well looks focused.
From Montreal, Quebec, Canada, she is the Total All-Star Female Champion, Maggie.
Stay right where you are, people.
Could this be the last time that we see Maggie with that title? Maggie made a bold, very bold statement that states if she ever lost this title, she would not compete for it again. So will this be the last time for her holding that title, or she keeps on? Now, she did clarify that she will not compete for it again during spring, but she will compete for Queen of Summer. So, I mean, it's still a very bold statement. Mrs. Def grabs Maggie, whips her into the turnbuckles face first, clothesline to the back of the head. Mrs. Def brings Maggie up to a vertical base. Big old right punch to the top of the head. Mrs. Def grabs Maggie, whips her into the ropes, drops below her, leapfrogs over her, and a flying clothesline connects. Big old roundhouse to the shoulder blades of Maggie, followed by a stomp to the lower back. Mrs. Def continues the assault with a big old forearm to the top of the head. Maggie gets up, backs up, then grabs Mrs. Def and whips her outside of the ring all the way down to the concrete floor right here in front of us the hard way. This is Extreme Falls Count Anywhere, so you can pin or submit your opponent outside of the ring. Mrs. Def grabs Maggie. Eat the feet connects. Mrs. Def grabs Maggie, brings her back up to a vertical base. Kicks her in the midsection. And a jump up kick. She hopped off the knee of Maggie and just drilled the bottom of her boot into the side of the face of Maggie. Maggie with a big old round, not a roundhouse, but a big old right hook. Mrs. Def grabs Maggie, slams her face first into the hard starter's ring, the apron. Mrs. Def brings Maggie back up to a vertical base, kicks her in the midsection, and then a big old knee to the jawline of Maggie. Grabs Maggie, picks her up, and slams her down hard. Mrs. Def brings Maggie up to a vertical base, tosses her back into the ring, and now both players are back in the ring. Mrs. Def grabs Maggie, slams her face first into the canvas, into that pool of water. And now Mrs. Def with the submission on Maggie. Will Maggie tap? And no, Maggie will fight out of it, and then a drop toe hold drops Mrs. Def onto that bottom apron face first, the bottom turnbuckle face first, followed by a spear into the pin. This could be it. We got a 1, we got a 2, and no, Mrs. Def kicks out at 2. Maggie grabs Mrs. Def, and Mrs. Def's going to power out of it with a straight right or left elbow to the stomach area, followed by a face buster. Mrs. Def rolls Maggie onto her back, goes for the pin. The ref is out of his. Ref gets it to count to 1, count to 2, and Maggie kicks out, and Mrs. Def is arguing with the ref. I thought it was over with 2. I was about to say, and that's it for Maggie's reign, but I was wrong. Mrs. Def with a stomp to the elbow of Maggie. Lines her up. Big old left hook. Rolls her onto her back, goes for the pin again. Does not hook the leg though. We got a 1, we got a 2, and Maggie barely gets her shoulder off. And Mrs. Def looks down at Maggie like, just stay down. Stomp to the sternum area. Mrs. Def trying to get the crowd behind her. Mrs. Def turns Maggie's face to the side, jumps up and stomps right on it. Goes for the pin again. Once again, does not hook the legs, though. We got a 1, we got a 2, and Maggie kicks out, using her legs to kick out. That was an error on the part of Mrs. Def. Mrs. Def brings Maggie up to a vertical base. Grabs her, whips her into the far turnbuckles, runs over, goes for the crossbody, but missed. And Maggie, showing her power, hooks Mrs. Def and just tosses her over her shoulder, almost clear across the ring. Maggie brings Mrs. Def back up to her feet. Kicks to the ribs. Puts her up in a firewoman's carry. And slams her, just spikes her down with that power bomb. Maggie is going to line Mrs. Def up now. Could this be the end of Miss Def? Big old super kick. Mrs. Def just falls down. Maggie goes for the quick pin. The ref gets him. The ref counts to 1. The ref counts to 2. And Mrs. Def kicks out at 2. What a match between these two. Maggie's going to try again for that big old kick. Oh no, this time she does the running knee to the temple into the quick pin. The ref gets him. The ref counts to 1. The ref counts to 2. And Maggie remains your champion.
Now let's take a look back at these ladies in action.
Who can dethrone Maggie? No one has been successful as of yet.
She's taking care of business. Oh, I can't believe this.
I thought for sure Mrs. Death was going to walk away, but Maggie just somehow got a little adrenaline and just came out on top.
On a mission. And here's a last look at this one.
Here is your
And
winner,
Maggie
and
still keeps that title, and she still lives by her word that if she title, she would not defend or not compete for that title again. And Maggie's making a statement, and she just is train rolling through all her competition.
For the 3 count.
Well, that was indeed a great match, and I think it's worth emphasizing how huge this victory is.
All right, it's time for our King of Spring match. Give me a moment to get that set up. As we got the Fixa going against Saint. All right, bets are live. Place for estimation. Bet space 0 for the Fixa or 1 for Saint, followed by another space minus from 1 to 1,000 Jokers. This is a title match, so all bets are doubled.
The following contest is an Extreme Rules.
And for those of you that will be watching this on my YouTube channel, let me explain what the King and Queen of Spring is. It is not only a title, but it is a championship belt. Each season it will change to whatever that season is. With that being said, it also is an outdoor arena. So like we did winter, it was snowing and ice. We're in spring, now it's rain and floods. So every season the arena and the belt will change. Making his way down to the ring, he is the owner and general manager of FWE. He is a former King of Spring. He is a former King of Winter. He is a former JJI Broadcast Championship. He is the Fixa.
Guys, we have 2 of WWE's most exciting superstars ready to square off here.
And there's nothing quite like seeing 2 superstars settling it in the ring in one-on-one action, Michael.
Making his way down to the ring, he is known as the Upsetter. He is a former JJI Broadcast Champion. He is a former Joker's World Champion. He is a former Joker's Invite Champion. He is the current King of Spring. He is a Saint.
As we ready for singles action, Byron, what can you tell us about these two competitors?
Well, I can say that both of these superstars come into this match incredibly hungry to prove their dominance here tonight. But as we all know, only one will walk away with their arm raised in victory.
Will Saint keep that title around his waist, or will he lose that title just a couple weeks after winning it?
Introducing the challenger from Indiana, weighing in at 247 pounds, the original gangsta.
The Fixa saying some words across the way to Saint, and Saint's just taking them in and not responding. Saint is focused.
41 pounds. He is the total all-star male champion, the Saint.
Just staring a hole right down the Fixa. He is not letting the Fixa's jaw jack and phase him in any way, shape, or form. The bell rings and the match is underway, and Saint with a clothesline takes the Fixa straight down, followed by a forearm to the upper back. Fixa gets up to his feet, takes Saint down by the leg, drops his knee into the knee of Saint. Stomp to the elbow. Fixa stands on the hand of Saint and stomps right on the elbow. Fixa is really focusing his attacks on that elbow of Saint. And Fixa goes for a submission early.
Is he done?
Fixa's just trying to wear Saint down, but Saint's going to fight out with those knees at the top of the head. Followed by a big old clothesline, takes him down. Drops the leg across the chest. Stomp to the wrist. Saint grabs Fixa, slams him face first into that pool of water. Saint brings Fixa up to the waist, and Fixa reverses with an elbow to the midsection, and a big old pop-up punch, and Saint is down. Saint is hurt. Fixa misses wildly with that stomp. He grabs Saint, slams Saint's head back first into the canvas, goes for the pin. The ref is out of position. The ref finally gets this count to 1, and Saint kicks out at 1.
Way too early.
Fixa with the kick to the upper back. Stomp right in between the shoulder blades. Scissor headlock applied, and drops the point of that elbow to the top of the head of Saint. Fixa brings Saint up to his feet. And Saint reverses with the DDT. I think Saint was trying to take the legs underneath him, and Saint just caught him. Saint sets Fixa up, just sets him up, and gives Fixa a taste of his own medicine with the scissor headlock and driving that point of the elbow into the top of the head. Saint grabs Fixa, going for a submission. Has it locked in place. The ref is asking Fixa if he wants to tap. Fixa's going to fight out of it.
How do you do that? I don't know, Michael, but good thing.
Fixa with the quick left and right jabs, followed by that big uppercut. Fixa grabs Saint, puts him in a fireman's carry. Gutbuster across both knees. Fixa bounces off the ropes. Big old kick to the temple, and Saint's down. Fixa brings Saint up to his feet once again. Going for those left jabs, followed by the big old right, and Saint's down again.
Guys, you never know what you're going to see in a
Fixa is lining Saint up to put this match away. Fixa grabs Saint. Facebuster, and that's all she wrote. I almost guarantee it. Fixa goes for the pin. We got a 1, but we got a 2, and no, Saint kicks out at 2 3/4, and Fixa can't believe it. Neither does more than half of the crowd. I thought that was over with myself. Fixa grabs Saint by the ears, slams him back first into that puddle of water. Stomp to the midsection, or stomp to the knee. Fixa goes for the pin again. Fixa's trying to end this. We got a 1, and Saint kicks out at 1 again.
think his opponent was expecting
Fixa
that.
starting to get a little frustrated. Fixa drops down to his level and just does a barrage of rights straight to the bridge of the nose and does it a second time for good measure. He is trying to break Saint's nose, it seems. Fixa grabs Saint by the leg, trying to hyperextend and pop it out of socket. Saint grabs his knee right away. That did have some effect on Saint. But Saint with the kip up, maybe he was playing a little possum. Claymore kick connects. Saint goes for the pin. We got a 1. We got a 2. And Fixa kicks out at 2. And Saint can't believe it. Saint is lining Fixa up.
Here he goes.
Saint with his educated feet drops Fixa. Saint goes for the pin, hooks the leg. We got a 1. We got a 2, and Fixa kicks out again. What a match between these two. Saint said, that's it. I can't put him away with regular wrestling. I'm going to introduce a toy. Saint looks underneath the ring. What is he going to grab? Fixa's back up to his feet. Saint grabs a baseball bat and uses it on Fixa before Fixa can even react. Saint tosses out of the ring. Goes to stomp on the lower back, misses. Forearm to the lower back, connects though. Saint keeps grabbing his head. He might have a concussion. Big old European uppercut knocks Fixa and backs him into the turnbuckles. Fixa fights out the turnbuckle with a knee. And then once again, showing his educated hands and some dance moves, because you know that's Fixa for you. Fixa goes for the pin, hooks the leg. The ref counts a 1, the ref counts a 2, and Saint kicks out, and Fixa once again can't believe it. Neither one of these two wants to give up. Neither one of these two wants to stay down. Fixa grabs Saint. Oh, and Saint reverses into the clothesline. Saint brings Fixa up to his feet. Claymore kick again. That could be it.
That was impressive.
But no, Saint is not happy. He wants to make sure that Fixa stays put down. Fixa's starting to get up using the ropes. Saint grabs a kendo stick now. Tosses it down when he sees Fixa's back up to his feet. Fixa grabs Saint, puts him in the fireman's carry. Big old kick, and Saint falls on top of that kendo stick. That's actually wise by Saint because he put all his body weight on that kendo stick so Fixa can't use it. Saint rolls out of the way. Fixa stomps the kendo stick. Knife edge chop. Chop to the top of the head. Bounce off the ropes, and another chop.
He's making a statement here with this attack.
Fixa brings Saint up to his feet. Oh, goes for his educated hands, and Saint blocks it in with a clothesline, knocks Fixa all the way down to the concrete floor.
For a while there, it looked like he was going to take this match.
Saint grabs the kendo stick as he come out and uses it on Fixa's leg, and then tosses it at Fixa's feet. Our cameraman Billy with this camera angle. Great camera work, Billy. Fixa's down. Saint hasn't been capitalized because Saint's got something going on with his head.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
Saint grabs Fixa, brings him up to his feet. Fixa fights out of an elbow to the lower midsection.
He wants it one more time.
Once again, showing those educated hands. He's trying to put Saint away. Saint has been busted open after that right. Fixa goes for the pin. The ref runs over. The ref counts a 1. The ref counts a 2. And Fixa is your new King of Spring.
Well, they don't call it Extreme Rules for nothing, guys. Let's take another look.
He ain't playing here. He ain't messing around.
What a match between these two. They gave it his all, and Fixa walks away with the title and the belt.
He's getting it done here.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we're looking at the highlights, it's now time for the JJI Broadcast Championship. So if in chat and I have your character all already, please raise your hand to compete for that title or forever hold your peace.
All-Star Male Champion.
No doubt about it. That's a big
There's nothing